Thank you very much for waiting. And also thank you for joining us in the Vision Network today, led by female chiefs and leaders. Let's start the breakout session 4, a discussion on the theme Aiming for Society that Protects Women's Dignity and Pride. My name is Asako Osaki, and I'll be the moderator today. There's a growing worldwide interest in the sexual reproductive health rights, or SRHR, which has to do with women's right to make decisions about things such as who and when to marry and whether or not to have children. The SRHR stands for Sexual Reproductive Health Rights. These ideas are the major theme not only in the developing and emerging countries, but also in Japan. And this is also related to the SDGs number 3, which is the SDG target and also the SDG target number 5. Now, talking about the SDGs, these are not only for the developing and emerging countries, but also for other countries. So SRHR, which is led also by Japan, and is the global issue. Against this backdrop, in Japan, the support for women who cannot afford sanitary products due to the financial reasons have started, and also the insurance coverage of infertility treatment has begun. And also overseas, the comprehensive sex education, improved and free access to the contraception and abortion are being implemented. In this breakout session, we would like to hear your views on how to protect women from discrimination and coercion so that the women can make their own decisions and the women's rights can be respected and protected. And what kind of efforts and what kind of initiatives are being implemented and what not necessary. We would like to hear from you what you think about those issues. Now, let me introduce a Madam Ambassador in this breakout session 4. Today, from the Republic of Uganda, Her Excellency KAAHWA Tophace is here with us. Ambassador Tophace, welcome. So next, I'd like to introduce the mayors participating in this breakout session. From Miyagi Prefecture, Okawa County, we have Hiromi Ogawa, Mayor of Ohira Village. From Tochigi Prefecture, Mayor of Tochigi, Hideko Okawa. From Saitama Prefecture, Chichibu County, and Nagatoro Town, we have Takie Osawa, Mayor of Nagatoro Town. From Chiba, we have Hiroko Ishii, the Mayor of Kimitsu. From Osaka, we have Tomoko Takizawa, Mayor of Ikeda City. Thank you very much and very nice to meet you.
Thank you. Let's begin the first discussion. The theme of this is interview with the frontrunners about the wisdom and courage to survive in a society where women's dignity is difficult to protect. So I would like to hear from all of the speakers here about the current situation where it is difficult to protect the dignity of women, such as the persistent sense of gender roles and what is needed to overcome this, because there are so many stereotypes. So it is actually difficult to protect and honor the dignity of women, unfortunately. That situation persists. So how can we overcome this? And in order to overcome it, what measures, what actions are needed? We would like to ask for our speakers to share their thoughts. We have an ambassador, and we also have several mayors here who are on stage today. They are indeed themselves the frontrunners in the advancement of women, having themselves achieved a balance between work and family of their own accord and built their careers in their respective areas and countries. So we would like to ask for you to please give your suggestions based on your own experiences regarding the efforts necessary to overcome these unwarranted discrimination and prejudices, and also to maintain our dignity as women, and how we can best exercise our rights. First, I would like to ask Mayor Ogawa to share her thoughts. Thank you. I'm from the prefecture of Miyagi, from the village of Ohira, and I'm the first village mayor of Ohira. My name is Hiromi Ogawa. It is indeed an honor to be welcomed at a forum such as this one today. So the challenge today is aiming for a society that protects women's dignity and pride. And for that, we need to have the courage to overcome the obstacles. And unfortunately, Japan is behind compared to many other countries. And female empowerment is still a major obstacle, especially out of the major urban areas. Also in the society, men are still preferred over women. Gender roles are also still very firmly defined, as it has been in the past generations. Men doing what, women doing what, which is still causing issues with the various gender gaps we see. The other society is yet to accommodate gender equality, and this is becoming a hindrance for the women to truly shine as active force in the society. And as I had raised my hand to become the female mayor, said, what can a woman do? I did definitely feel that as I was doing my political activities. That is the unfortunate truth that I faced. Discrimination against women. There were some verbal abuses as well. But there were people who were supporting me, who were even pushing me to reach this level. And their actions, words, encouraged me, gave me energy to become the leader of the mayor, of the village that I grew up in. And by me becoming a political leader, I believe that it is starting to change the mindset of the people living in the local community. I take action, I think, I listen to other people's thoughts. I know that all the answers are in the actual area. So I went out there to hear what everybody's thoughts were, what their opinions were, and I made sure I did the same thing, sharing my own thoughts with them. There were many people who wrote me letters encouraging me. The women who sent me these letters range from 5 to 95. I wanted to take into the account their passion, their thoughts, and translate that into energy to make a difference. So everyone, regardless of the gender, can be an active member of building a society. Once again, I'm so thankful that I'm welcomed here. And by me taking part in such an event such as this one, this is going to help me in the future. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Ogawa. Now I'd like to turn to Ms. Takie Osawa, who is the mayor of Nagatoro town in Saitama Prefecture. Thank you. Thank you. I'm from the prefecture of Saitama, from Nagatoro Township. Japan, when you look through its long history, ever since over 1,000 years ago, I believe that actually there was probably not much of a gender gap between men and women. Look at all these wonderful laureates from over 1,000 years ago who left wonderful literary work. They were shining in their own right. They were able to build their own careers. However, after the warring warlord period began, a few hundred years after that, the samurai or the warrior clans took over the political landscape in Japan. This is when truly men took over the society, and they were the rulers, and women had to become the followers. This continued for 800 years. And in 1945, when Japan lost World War II and American cultures was brought in, that did not immediately change the preconception that modern-day Japanese had about the existing gender gap. Because the armed forces, led of course by men, they were the ones who were in the power. So this is sure to be a part of the major reason what led to that big gender gap. In 1991, the Japanese government passed the law to eliminate gender gap. That was 50 years after the end of World War II. And that year, that is when I realized that Nagatoro town that I was living in should have a female political leader. So we, the local women, put our forces together to create the female mayor. It was completely a world led by men, so it took incredible amount of courage to even try. But I was actually probably a more powerful sort of person, so maybe the people around me didn't really consider me as a demure, traditional woman, so unfortunately I was more smoothly accepted by the rest of the party. But I remember facing so much gender-related discrimination when I was a child. But because of all of my experience, that is what's helping me with my career as a leader. I am seeing more women stepping up to the political field. But unfortunately, in my town of Nagatoro, I am here, but female presence is unfortunately very low. But looking around in the rest of the country, because of that law that came into force, this is helping more political leaders being female at various levels of the society. But it took at least 20 years to reach where we are. So when we look at 1945 as a starting point, it's nearly 80 years to arrive at where we are now. So considering that, looking into the future, in about 20 years, I would say that the people who were born during the war or post-war years will be gone. But looking at the younger generations now, the gender gap is narrowing so much, and we are living in the era of DX, digital transformation. In such a society, I believe that there is no such thing as gender gap or gender difference. And also, insisting on certain rights require you to have a sense of duty. And there's no gender associated with that concept. Men and women both will need to see, listen, speak, and expand their field of vision. There's no such thing as gender difference there. At the basis of gender equality is to recognize that there are gender differences, but we need to respect each other and then simply work with each other to supplement what might be missing. So it's a cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, I'd like to call upon the mayor of Kimitsu, Hiroko Ishii. Please. Hello, everyone. I am Hiroko Ishii, mayor of Kimitsu City. It's been 5 years since I became the mayor, and I also worked at the government, the municipality level. And I was not really aware of my gender as I worked as a representative of the communities. And each time there are responsibilities, and I was very keen to fulfill my responsibility. So because of being a woman, the dignity in being not protected was not something that I experienced myself. Probably this is something that I just did not feel. I'm not sensitive enough, or I think I was very lucky to be surrounded by people. So being a woman, and that was something that I was told when I was small for using that as an excuse, for example. But I think that I flexibly managed the different situations, and I continue to have a strong will to achieve what I wanted to do. So when I became the mayor, now it's possible for women to be active and to be successful. There was another woman who said exactly the same, and that made me very happy. So after becoming the mayor, I am a manager of the city government. So I have been trying to eliminate that kind of a role-based way of thinking about the job and others. Last year, we started the 5th term, the plan to create Kimitsu City where everyone can shine. So each individual of the citizens can accept the diversity so that they can individually shine in the society, respecting the diversity in our city, and everybody can take advantage of the strength, and they can feel safe in living our city. That has been our target. Some time ago, we had the gender equality promotion law, and was focused on women, but now we are focused more diverse group of people. So not just gender, but the living environment, and so that everyone should not give up the happiness and be shining individuals in the city. So there is a strong persisting understanding of the gender roles in the society. I think this is on the part of the men, and I think that more men should really participate in caring for children. So in our city, we are trying to promote the fathers to take more child care leaves, and as an average, about 30% or higher than 30% of the fathers have taken the leaves for the child care. Before I became the mayor, almost no fathers have taken the paternity leave. And also, we have doubled the number of people as well as the managerial level people who are women. So we want to make sure that the City Hall people can take advantage of their strength and have a good work-life balance, and to lower or reduce the kind of gender-based roles. We want to make it possible to create an environment where people can work comfortably, and I would like to make efforts so that this would also expand outside of our city. Thank you very much. I listened to 3 mayors. So now that regardless of the gender, as individuals, we have rights, and our presence need to be accepted and approved. So in the area of the politics, the men played the major roles, and I think that they made a lot of decisions, but now we have more female leaders, so that those women who were unable to say what they wanted to say in the past can now do so, supported by the female leaders. So vis-a-vis the leaders surrounding you, or the female people surrounding you, you can feel that they're becoming more confident, and also young girls are becoming more confident. So not gender-based roles being played by the individual in the society is something that we are starting to see. Now moving on, A second topic for today is what can we do to realize a society where the women's dignity and pride and birthrights are protected. And we'd like to ask the countries and municipalities what they are doing so that women can make their own decisions for themselves. We'd like to hear from different countries and municipalities. As I said at the beginning, SRHR has been drawing a lot of attention in the world, and we are seeing the progress of that. And so social momentum is building. And for the reproductive rights and health, the appropriate knowledge, dissemination, and education about the sexual and reproductive health and rights are being improved. And I think that countries are promoting those efforts. And to deepen the social understanding, to provide the health related support for women from the pregnancy, giving birth to old age, making sure that they can access all the medical services, and also to focus on the measures for the HIV prevention and drug abuse and so forth. So today from the Republic of Uganda, we have Her Excellency Ambassador Tophace. So we'd like to hear from her about what they are doing in Uganda. So I'd like to call upon Ambassador Tophace to talk about the current status of SRHR promotion in Uganda. So Ambassador, please.
Thank you so much, Moderator, for giving me this opportunity. I would like to thank the organizers, the governors and mayors Vision Network, which has involved me in this program. The question is, what initiatives has Uganda taken to eliminate factors that hinder sexual and reproductive health and rights of women? Uganda has taken measures to integrate sexual and reproductive health and rights into national policies, strategies, and programs. For example, maternity leave for Uganda is 60 working days of paid leave per the public service standing orders. 2, paternity leave in Uganda is 7 days. Safe motherhood programs have been adopted in the national and regional hospitals, health center 4s, health center 3s, and engagement of key community leaders like traditional birth attendants. These include family planning services, antenatal care, postpartum care, and care for the newly baby hygiene. In Uganda, we also see the community outreach productive health services that include but are not limited to management of sexual transmitted diseases and efforts to harmful traditional practices like female genital mutilation and others. National policy on elimination of gender-based violence and the National Plan of Action on the Elimination of Gender-Based Violence of 2016 brings awareness that GBV should not be tolerated, should be reported, and is punishable, brought awareness to the direct relationship between GBV and HIV transmission, and provides care and remedies for survivors, e.g., harmful sexual practices rooted in culture like female genital mutilation have been addressed at the national and community level. or that women and girls in refugee settlement camps have not been left out. In Uganda, we have many refugee camps. We have around 10,000 refugees from our neighboring countries. So these refugees, majority are women and children. So our programs and policies cover these people. The challenges, there are many challenges we are facing in the process of implementing this move of women under the health care. Inadequate health care services to handle pregnancy-related complications leads to both high maternal and infant mortality rates. Access to information or education regarding available health services to ensure sexual and reproductive health. For example, many women still underestimate the role that antenatal services play in early diagnosis of pregnancy complications, or that mother-to-mother transmission of HIV can easily be prevented. What are the achievements so far? The Ministry of Health integrated sexual and gender-based violence training into sexual and reproductive health and rights programs to enable health workers not only to treat patients but also to easily identify victims for quick mitigation. Community involvement of leaders has ensured quicker acceptance of safe sexual and reproductive health practices. But in Uganda, we still face teenage pregnancies are steadily increasing. Younger girls are getting pregnant on a high area. As I conclude, in Uganda, we have made strides in women empowerment. To get the achievement, we first involved ourselves in leadership. When we are involved in leadership, we are able to take decisions. And when we are able to take decisions or take part in decisions, that means the voice of women is also at high table. So our issues may be echoed very well. So I want to thank the mayors who have come up in Japan and governors, and I request you to interest more women and girls to join leadership so that we can push the cause of women. It is a global issue. It is across everywhere. I thank you so much for the opportunity to share what we have in Uganda.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So in terms of the topic of SRHR, the gender-based violence is a very important policy matter. And as the ambassador mentioned, there's governments that should be provided. We need to have more willing to listen to the voices of the girls, women. So thank you so much, Ambassador, for your sharing your thoughts. So at a national level, there needs to be policies and a better system. And as we see enhancement of that, of course, what the national government needs to do is, of course, important. But as I heard from the ambassador, these direct services that are going to be provided to the actual end users, the girls, women, are going to be done at local level. So that is why, even in Japan too, it's going to be important for these local political leaders to support that as well. So let's turn the mic to our local leaders in Japan. Here in Japan, the issue is a menstrual poverty. According to the Cabinet Office, as of July last year, over 700 initiatives are taking place to help solve that problem. And also there's better support at schools in providing support in education for gender issues. So through education, SRHR related information can be shared. These gender-related and health-related challenges are still very prevalent. Many localities are engaging in their own initiatives. So we would like to hear some actual examples from the leaders we have today. I would like to have you also make recommendations and proposals on what more can be done. I would like to start with Mayor Okawa from Tochigi City. Thank you. I am Hiromi Ogawa, mayor of, I'm Hideko Ogawa, mayor of Tochigi. In my policy, I would like to make sure that there's a high level of well-being for every person, regardless of what stage they are in their life. Especially in terms of women, there is marriage and pregnancy, child rearing. These are very big life events that women often experience. So this is where we need to provide solid support. So we're focusing much of our effort in providing that support needed. Also with that pregnancy, or for those people who are going through infertility treatments, because that's also another case we see often, that also needs to be supported. Oftentimes, these are not covered by the national insurance, so what we're doing at our city is providing some financial support, so half the cost of such treatments can be covered by the local government. The upper limit of this is 300,000 yen per year. Also, we're supporting the city, the public servants of the city. For those people who are going through such infertility treatments, we give them extra time off from work, specifically to address their infertility issues. There are many other types of special days off that we give them. For elementary school kids, too, if any medical leave is necessary, we allow for that. We also provide a very good level of postnatal care as well, so people can really focus on child rearing or addressing their health issues related to fertility. The types of service we provide is that we can welcome them at medical institutions. We also can dispatch medical professionals to their homes. The Japanese government has its own initiative at their level, and this has been taken up by 31 localities throughout Japan. And we're actually taking part of that. We think that the initiative is off to a very good start. Also, in terms of economic empowerment, we also support women who want to shine more in the business field. And we have a contest that call for ideas and their proposals. And all of those who have so far won these prizes have launched their businesses, and they're covering various fields. So economically, they're contributing to the growth of the local community too. And women are becoming a stronger part in this. In terms of health, we have medical purpose wigs that we're providing subsidiary for. So, various medical-related devices are provided, partially being shouldered by us. In order to really create these policies, it's important to have both genders' perspectives to be present and recognized, not just men, but also women too. That is why hiring is going to be key. There used to be no female division manager levels, but last year, of the 20 division managers, we have 4 women. So we have 20% female representation there. One has left, unfortunately, so the percentage went down to 18. However, we cannot just leapfrog and pick up a female member to all of a sudden become a division leader. So that's why we need to start at the very beginning to both men and women to give the same amount of chance, same level. And I'm very clear on communicating that to the council. So I'm going to continue really focusing on this career development part too. Thank you. Thank you. Then I would like to ask Mayor Takizawa of Osaka. Thank you. I'm from the city of Ikeda. Women often have their own female-specific challenges, health-related challenges. So how can we overcome them? As Mayor Okawa mentioned, I too agree that women have these health issues that are related to different life issues. So it could be menstruation, it could be pregnancy. So given these, I think oftentimes women had to just bite their lips and just take it and just try to survive the issues or try to do something. But more lately, there's been adoption of various technologies to help solve those. So the buzzword here is femtech. That is becoming a very big field in addressing these female-specific issues. When trying to do something new, it's not always easy, but to have the discussion itself is very important. There needs to be voices heard. At my city of Ikeda, menstruation poverty is something we discuss and we work on. And the prefecture level, one step above me, is also having some dialogue initiatives being rolled out and how that can be addressed. Some initiatives are being implemented. So while picking up on various tools, technologies that are available, I would like to see them used in a useful way to help women focus on what they wish to do in the society. But in order to push that, the society has to be willing to accommodate them in understanding and supportive. This is something, of course, at the City Hall we can support. And we need to also have the citizens be on board of that. At the City Hall that I'm leading, I'm saying it's diversity. It's not just women or women, it's both of us. But still, we do have to be more mindful and try to really identify what more needs to be done to achieve that equality. So that's why we're not just speaking to women, but we're also inviting men to come and say, what can we do more for that equality? And I want to really have more of those. That's within the City Hall, but I also would like to have more forums, more public forums, for the public to be more directly involved in the dialogue as well. Thank you. Thank you. I wish we could keep talking more and more, but unfortunately, I believe it is time. So lastly,
I'd like to hear from each panelist what they thought after listening to the short presentation by each panelist. If you can share with us your impression and anything that you want to say as a last comment. Ms. Ogawa, the village mayor of Ohira, sorry. Well, listening to all the presentations, in order for us to make decisions one by one and also to create a society where women can shine, I think we have to increase the number of opportunities. And as part of it, in the local municipalities, the different jobs, from my perspective, I have to ask and make sure that the people can relate to what we are doing. We have to create such an environment. So from now on, in the different opportunities, men, women, sharing the similar thoughts, that I think will lead to the true gender equality. So in that sense, I would like to work on creating such environment. Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to move on to Ms. Okawa. Yes. Yoshia Nobuko is the writer who spent her young age in Tochigi City. And when she was a second year in the high school, she listened to Nitobe Inazo speak. And Nitobe Inazo said that before becoming a good mother, you have to become a good human being. And she was moved by that word, and she became the writer afterwards. So during the Meiji era, that's the word that she heard, and that is still relevant. You have to become a very good human being, regardless of the gender. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, the Ms. Osawa, Mayor, or Vision Network, when it started, the 36 female chiefs existed. That's what I heard earlier. And now we have 55 female chiefs who have become the leaders. So when you think about that, in order to solve the female issues, we have to increase the number of the female leaders. So I would like to say that the quota system need to be introduced for the elections. So I'd like to speak up and continue to say the necessity for such a quota for the elections. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hiroko Ishii, Mayor, please. Well, I myself, to create a society where women can shine, I think that the women have to become independent, first of all. So the gender-based roles, there are some things that are forced, but some people wish to play such role. So there is a pay gap, salary gap, still existing, and you have to become economically independent. So in a different perspective, becoming independent on the part of women would be important, and we have to make sure that there is a process to do so. And for that, for the decision-making process, we have to get more engaged. We have to have more women involved in that process. I myself, in Kimitsu City, I want to make sure that regardless of the gender, they have the health and depending on the life stage and the financial situation, and also the diversity of people. I want to make sure that all of those diversities are respected so that everyone can become happy in Kimitsu City. That's what I will be focused upon. Thank you very much. Next is Tomoko Takizawa, Mayor. Well, everybody not giving up the future that you want to realize, and we have to make sure that we have a choice to make. So to make sure that our rights are protected and to have a self-esteem since the childhood. To have such education, I think, is important. So in Ikeda City, the self-realization is what I would like to encourage and promote in our city. Thank you very much. So Ambassador Tophace, final comments?
Thank you so much, Moderator. I want to thank the mayors for the final comments, which are very, very touching. I would suggest creation of clear policies to address the inequalities and to protect women's rights. So we need to come up with the policies, strong policies that can help us protect women's rights. We need to be role models. We who are already leaders, let us be role models to the younger girls so that they may come up learning and picking from us. The future will be bright. And finally, I would also echo my voice of increasing women leaders. We would encourage women to join politics so that we also be at the high table, at the decision-making table, and by that we'll be having a voice to push for our rights. I thank you so much.
Thank you. As the ambassador mentioned, today's discussion, led by all the other female political leaders, are going to resonate with a lot of women, young girls who are watching this today. Wonderful message to everybody. So we already have great role models, and this was a very good example of what women can do at leadership positions. So today's session, the breakout session, was on the theme of aiming for a society that protects women's dignity and pride. In order to achieve that, there needs to be a set of very diverse initiatives. There are many sides to that. Women need to join the decision-making process. There needs to be technology utilization or eliminate violence, and also working with men, allowing them to come help solve the challenges that women might be solving, such as women being the sole caregivers of the children and such. So we cover the topic from various levels, from different angles. We want the women to be able to make the decisions for themselves, and they decide how they want to live their lives. I think in today's discussion we had many great hints, and we would like to conclude with a great sense of hope for the future. Thank you so much for our panelists, our political leaders. Thank you so much for Ambassador. Thank you so much. Now we would like to conclude Breakout Session 4 on the theme of aiming for a society that protects women's dignity and pride. And after this, the Vision Network will continue to announce a declaration and give some closing remarks on this channel. So please continue on the channel, but do make a switch to the main channel. If you would like to continue watching, please switch the channel. And for more details, please refer to the summary section. Thank you.